Welcome to today's strategic briefing. I'm going to be your senior consultant for this session, and we're diving straight into a critical explainer on a skill you absolutely need right now, calibrating your AI judgment. We're going to look at exactly how to build foolproof automated research pipelines. Because, let's be real, if you're using AI to scale your work, you absolutely have to know how to supervise it.
Let's kick things off with a hard truth. An AI running without quality assurance, it's basically a latent catastrophe just waiting to compromise your research. The reality is, pipelines scale our productivity, absolutely, but they also scale our errors. Catching mistakes is no longer just a luxury or an afterthought. It is literally the entire job.
Here is our playbook for today: the silent catastrophe, the 4 QA layers, the sampling toolkit, in the field, and risk and monitoring. We are moving quickly from identifying the invisible risks of automation right into building a robust, totally defensible pipeline. Part 1. The silent catastrophe, the hidden cost of automated scaling.
Okay, so the core problem really comes down to this idea of friction. See, human friction creates awareness. When you're manually screening a borderline paper or coding a transcript yourself, you actually feel that friction, right? You notice the weird edge cases. But an AI pipeline, it just makes errors invisibly in the background. It doesn't pause, it doesn't ask you for clarification, so those mistakes and spurious findings remain completely hidden until you are way too deep into your synthesis.
Let's put some numbers to this to really put it in perspective. If you have a 1% error rate manually screening 100 papers, well, that's just one mistake. You catch it, you move on, no big deal. But scale that same 1% to an automated pipeline screening 10,000 papers, suddenly you have a massive problem quietly compounding in the background. Your research is fundamentally compromised before you've even begun analyzing it.
Moving right along to Part 2, the 4 QA layers, a blueprint for defensible AI.
Quality assurance isn't just a quick glance at the end. It's an unavoidable gauntlet. First up is input validation, verifying the data actually entering the AI is correct. Second, processing validation, randomly sampling the AI's midstream logic to see how it's thinking. Third is output validation, making sure the formatting and any missing data patterns look right. And finally, outcome validation, ensuring the downstream findings actually make logical sense and aren't just completely fabricated statistics.
Now, for those layers to actually work, you've got to define your acceptance criteria before you even switch the machine on. Subjective, looks pretty good to me assessments. Those absolutely will not hold up to institutional scrutiny. You need explicit quantitative standards. For instance, if the AI doesn't hit a 90% agreement rate with human reviewers, the pipeline pauses, period.
Part 3. The sampling toolkit. How to verify without losing efficiency.
Here's your strategic toolkit, because obviously we can't manually verify everything. That completely defeats the purpose of automation. You need to allocate your limited verification time to where errors are statistically most likely to pop up. Stratified sampling gives you a nice balanced view. Risk-based sampling hones in on the most costly errors, like the AI falsely excluding a vital paper. Temporal sampling checks for degradation over time. And confidence sampling, that just escalates the borderline confusing decisions to a human. This is exactly how you effectively manage an AI team member.
So here's a crucial point. What happens when you tweak the AI's instructions to fix a bug? You absolutely must use regression testing. You keep a frozen data set of known inputs, and you rerun it through the AI after any update. This essentially proves you didn't accidentally break something else while trying to fix a single problem. You've got to treat your prompts like software code.
Wearing my senior consultant hat for a minute, I see research teams make these same mistakes constantly. But the absolute biggest trap? Sampling only the easy, high-confidence cases. I mean, of course the AI got the easy ones right. A calculator could do that. You actually need to go looking for trouble in the murky, borderline cases, because that's where your oversight actually matters.
Let's get into Part 4, in the field, real-world AI failures and fixes.
Let's take these theories into the real world. Imagine a researcher using an automated literature screening pipeline. She tests it, and the AI matches her manual decisions 96% of the time. Now that sounds amazing, right? But it's that remaining 4% where our QA work really begins. That 4% is exactly where the AI's logic is fundamentally breaking down.
When they investigated that tiny mismatch, they found a glaring hallucination in the system's logic. The AI was occasionally inventing completely fake citations, or it was grabbing agricultural papers by mistake simply because the word vaccine was present. It completely misunderstood the context of human vaccine hesitancy. Catching that required them to narrow the search parameters to fix the actual root cause. Here's another great, concrete example.
extracting clinical data across 20 different sites. To catch fabricated statistics, the team established expected distribution boundaries. For example, they set a rule that a patient's weight must fall between 40 and 150 kilograms. If the AI hallucinates a weight of 300 kilos or claims a patient is 200 years old, boom, it instantly triggers a human query. You absolutely cannot wait for the final analysis to find impossible numbers like that.
Bringing it home with Part 5, Risk and Monitoring. Calibrating your AI oversight.
You really have to calibrate your oversight. Think of this as a quick mental checklist for evaluating task risk versus AI capability. Are you having the AI just extract publication dates? Okay, that's a low-risk task. An occasional error isn't going to destroy your conclusions, so minimal spot checking is totally fine. But if your AI is extracting core study findings for synthesis, that is a high-risk task. Errors there directly compromise your research, so that demands aggressive, multi-layer validation.
To manage those high-risk tasks without completely burning out your team, you need a continuous monitoring dashboard. You establish your key metrics, you set meaningful thresholds, you track performance over time, and you investigate anomalies. By setting thoughtful thresholds, you prevent that dreaded alert fatigue, ensuring you only flag your team when the pipeline actually drifts off course.
When your dashboard inevitably does catch an error, remember this golden rule of consulting. Do not just manually correct that single output and move on. You've got to dive into the comprehensive logs, which is your ultimate audit trail, by the way, and fix the underlying AI instruction. Always fix the root cause, not just the symptom.
So, as you head back to your teams to scale up these workflows, I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. Automation is absolutely inevitable, but blind trust is a choice. What explicit quality checks do your pipelines need today to ensure that tomorrow you can actually prove to the world your AI's outputs are trustworthy? Don't wait. Start building those safety nets right now before you actually need them.